up, team, and welcome back to the Kaisa Show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We have a fun little episode, but before we begin, Mike, how are you doing today? I know you want to get right into how you're doing today with this new setup.
Yeah, I was just going to say, TKS just got a major upgrade. I'm really excited. This has been something I've wanted for a while. We got some new mics, so I might sound a little
more official.
A little more official. I was going to say sexy, but actually that's on point for today because that's what we're going to talk about, sexy a little bit. But yeah, we got some boom arms for those of you who are just listening so we can move the mic with us. Check this out. I'm kind of leaning forward talking to Kaisa right now, and then I'm just going to, it's been a long day. I'm leaning back now. Actually, these chairs don't lean back, but I'm further away. But that mic still sounds good, right? Because the mic moves with Mike. So
he's out of team.
I'm feeling good
out of control
about that. And yeah, I just feel like we're just in a flow. Like it strangely, knock on the wood. Every week I'm pretty nervous. Every week I feel like we might not have something to talk about, including like basically as of this morning. And then here we are. And I'm actually feeling kind of confident right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to say fully confident, but kind of confident.
I think the thing is we are chatty Kathys. We do talk a lot. It's just getting started. Once we're started, we're on a flow. We can go, and then it's hard to kind of stop us.
Yeah.
But we're good. We've proven that we have enough to chat about.
Yes,
continuously.
We have.
Okay, so on the note of all this epic new gear, let's jump into what's buzzin'.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
You go.
Now it's time for What's Buzzin'. What's a buzzin', bub?
The ending is so good.
Right.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, so today I am buzzing on
my
new Birkenstocks.
He just took them off too.
They're live in the flesh. These Birkenstocks, folks, I think are the Arizona EVAs or something because they're foam. So they're not leather and cork like a normal Birkenstock. I'm going to Costa Rica. And I don't love flip-flops. And there's a lot of, education out there that like flip-flops are not good for your feet.
Yeah, the way you grip.
Yeah, and when you're walking around, like I'm going to be walking. We don't have a car or anything. We're just going to be walking. And so I wanted something a little, maybe I didn't know what I wanted. I was confused. And I saw these Birkenstocks. I tried them on.
No, tell the people what really happened. You
what really
saw them on me.
Oh, yeah. I did see your BDSM ones. That you had the lovers
Bejeweled.
or hustler collabo Birkenstocks, the black leather with the silver studs,
gold.
Yeah, and when you isn't it when you slip them on they go? He
is out of control. No,
I did see those. Those did inspire me, and then I never thought I was a Birk guy.
I love how our topic today is like about like sexy, and everything is leading back to.
Yeah.
No, they do not.
Yeah.
That was me trying to do a whip.
Okay, that's just what I hear when I see them. And but yeah, these are great. So these can go in the water because normal Birks can't because they're like leather and cork. And I was like, well, it's rainy season. That's not good. So I am now rocking some Birks. They were $50 too. Birks are like 130 or more.
Okay, but it is still crazy. It's 50 for a piece of foam.
Totally.
It's like croc. Like everything is just so expensive. But yeah.
But they have buckles, so you can secure your straps, so I tighten them up if I need to hustle a little bit. Like if I need to catch the bus or like pick up my lunch order, I go down to like the last hole to make sure I got grip. But then if I'm chilling, if it's kind of like a casual afternoon, I let them ride like on one of the last holes so I can just real easy slide on, slide off. Like I can literally just direct my feet a little bit and they'll fall off and I can nap. There's different modes you can do in these Birkenstocks.
He is not kidding though. Okay, also, you are wearing socks with the Birks. That's kind of a new situation.
Is it? I thought that was the whole thing that you can do. That's what it opens up.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and get judged for it. But
no judgment.
I like the sock. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to always be wearing socks, but it's like June, whatever here, and it's cold out. It's not warm. So I chose some socks. And as you know, I'm a big Stance socks guy. So I can't be like, gosh, this.
Are you okay?
Spindrift. Wow. I got to stop drinking carbonated beverages. It's not good. Anywho, yeah, these Birks are good. I'm excited to take them traveling with me.
They're also really light, which is cool.
They're super light.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just like attach them to the back of your backpack if you want to kind of look like world traveling.
Yeah, you saw someone do that, and now you're officially. I actually am going to ask Priya to take a picture of this. You're going to be walking through the airport with those
them
clips.
just strapped.
Yeah, clipped to your
Where
back.
you headed, man? Carry on only. Anywhere in the world, one-way ticket. One-way ticket. Never know where I'm going next.
Oh my God.
Which, just since we're talking about it, we are going all carry-on. I can convince my wife we're going pure carry-on. I'm so excited about that. I don't know why I'm really excited about
why?
that. Well, I do not like the hassle of like checked bags. I don't like when you're when you have like a layover, like multiple flights. It always scares me because I always hear stories of your bag. Jeez. Sorry. Am I getting emotional right now? I don't know what's happening in my voice.
I don't know what's happening either.
Multiple flights, like you can lose your bag.
Yeah.
That, and then I'm like, how I feel like we always pack our checked bag is like put everything in there so you don't have to worry about it. So it's like, if that doesn't show up, you literally have like nothing that you actually need. You know, you have like your phone charger, a magazine, and some almonds in your backpack because you're like, everything else is checked.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just.
So you guys are essentially just basically 7 days in the same clothes.
No. Oh my God. So for you, I'm not bringing like something I wear to the Oscars. Like in one suitcase carry-on, I can fit my 7 days of clothes and River's 7 days of clothes in one. Plus I still have a backpack. Plus he gets a backpack, right? Because you get like 2 items per person. Then Priya will get her own carry-on and her own tote because she doesn't wear a backpack. She only wears or rocks totes. I don't know why. I was like, why don't you just wear a backpack? I have like 7. She's like, no.
Not the look.
I'll be bringing a tote.
Yeah, not the look.
Yeah. So she's got her tote bag. And
I don't know why everything is funny right now.
Yeah, it's fun.
I do see this. I hope that you take some pictures of this family
trip.
No. Oh. Yes, the trip,
yeah.
but the airport setup.
Just that part. I'll leave that to Priya because I'm sure I will be the one being made fun of in most of the situation. So I will also try to document, but
okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of good suitcase, do you have a good suitcase?
Oh, it's great.
Do you have the Patagonia one?
No.
Oh.
I'm pretty cheap generally. Like I spend money on things that are really important to me, but I love trying to get the best deal on things that aren't that important to me. So I got these like Samsonite hard shell suitcases. Wow, that was so much judgment. The hard shells are dope because they're hard and everything that fits inside is like safe. Anyways, there was like 110 or $15. They've got, you know what else I'm a big fan of is what are they really called? Like bags, like so little like carry on. I forget what they're called now. Like travel bags. So you put like all your socks in a little bag, and you put all your shirts in a little bag. So you have like organization in your bag. Ooh, it's so dope. You open it up, you're like, oh, there's my underwear, there's my socks, there's my pants, there's my shorts.
You watched a TikTok.
No, I just like I'm like that. I like that
really?
organization. Yeah, I don't have TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like 38.
PM doesn't have TikTok yet?
She doesn't. No, we're on an
No,
anti-TikTok.
you are PM.
Oh, that's right. My wife's name is Priya May, so I thought PM.
Oh.
Podcast Mike and Priya. Whoa, there's a lot of things going on there.
PM means so many things now.
Whoa, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a long buzz, and we buzzed into other buzzes.
But do you like how I actively practice allowing your buzz to go for 25 minutes?
You seem really relaxed. I can read you pretty well, though, so it felt a little forced, but I appreciated it.
Okay.
Like, well, it's like
it is forced.
like, you know,
I'm actively practicing something that is like doesn't sit well with me.
Totally.
I'm
it's like listening to somebody else.
You know, fuck off. Team, that's not true.
But seriously.
I like to listen. Just buzzing is one of those things.
You'll learn someday. I mean, all the reviews that come in, it's like 90% people they mention the buzz. Are we gonna name? Oh my God, whoa! Don't,
the buzz.
The buzz with
No,
Kaisa and Mike.
BuzzFeed is a real thing.
I know, but I didn't say BuzzFeed. I said the buzz.
Okay, shut the fuck.
Anywho, what are you buzzing on, Kaisa?
Okay, Mike. So I'm buzzing on something that's actually not new, but because recently maybe my eyelashes have been popping more than normal.
Okay.
And I've been getting a lot of questions about the mascara that I use and my eyelash situation. So I'm buzzing on my regular buzzin mascara, which I have tried this you will not appreciate, but I have tried every mascara in the entire world. Thrive Causemetics, Carissa,
Okay. Yep.
shout out to
Shout out.
my friend, but also Thrive Causemetics is literally the best mascara. So I'm buzzing on that mascara.
Okay.
And just in case anyone wants to know, in case you are the people that are in my DMs asking me, it's a 2-part sequence here, team. I use I know, so it's double buzz.
Okay.
I use Revitalize eyelash serum, and I will say it is expensive, and it also, you have to be very dedicated to using it every single night for like a month before
does
you
it
see.
promote growth or
yes,
something?
It promotes growth.
Interesting.
And I don't know if it like promotes growth or it like they don't fall out as fast or something. I'm not quite sure, but yes, it does actually work. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Are you losing eyelashes?
No, you always lose eyelashes,
Oh, okay.
but they're like full. So I just don't know which one of the.
I just picture you had like a receding eyelash line.
Oh my God, don't put that on me.
Okay, sorry.
No,
about that.
my
No,
eyelash-
you're revitalizing.
I'm
over there.
revitalizing. Yeah. So that serum and then Thrive Causemetics mascara.
Okay.
And Thrive has, I think I was trying to ask Carissa, like Thrive has actually qualities inside of the mascara that help the eyelashes grow, and it's an amazing mascara.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like fertilizer for your
Yeah.
eyelashes.
But eyelashes are
Fertilashes. Hit me up, Carissa. Just let me know if you want to do a little brainstorm.
Fertilashes.
Yep, Fertilash.
He is out of control.
And then you can be like, I'm fertilashing. You know, that could be the hashtag.
That just doesn't.
Yeah.
Yes, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like my buzz.
That's
I mean,
fun.
I'm always buzzing on all things Thrive Causemetics, but specifically, I've been getting a lot of questions about my eyes.
Isn't there a color coming out?
How did you know that?
You told me.
Oh.
I didn't like read it on
Oh, I was like, whoa.
upcoming.
Well, they launched like a blue, so they have black, brown, blue. Oh, is there a color coming out?
Yeah, are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
They're-
just kind of hint at it.
yeah.
Maybe give a little
They're
hint.
naming a product after.
Ooh. That's exciting.
Yeah, it will not release until the fall,
Okay.
but that's pretty
So
special.
stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
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 Stay tuned. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
Thrive Causemetics, special shout out. And also it's a give back. So Thrive does a really cool, it's like the Tom's thing, but where they give back product, they donate. Like that's always been very important to Carissa. So for product sold, product is donated and or money is donated, which is really cool.
That is cool. A lot of companies do that now. I noticed that. It gets me.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the name is Thrive Causemetics, Cause.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. One sec. Cool. I was looking at that camera over there.
You didn't think it had you at the right angle?
No. There's what's called a tally light.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a product episode, so we're gonna break it down real quick. So there's a red light
Yeah.
that means you're recording. So you see a red light on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, the headphone was just covering it like a cord, so I couldn't see it, and I had a slight panic.
Oh, I saw the
like-
panic on your face.
You did?
Yeah.
You saw it?
You were like,
you know
"Hold
why
on."
the biggest panic was? Because that's my camera.
I know.
Like that's my shot.
And you are the star of the show.
So I was concerned. I was like, damn, the people aren't going to see
The
me,
star.
B, my Birkenstock when I held it up. I was really nervous about that.
Oh, no, but the people will see you now. Now we know.
Okay, that feels good.
You're clear
Okay.
and in
All right,
focus.
now I'm scared.
And the center. I
Yeah.
see the red light here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people at home might not know this, but we run everything. Like this, there is just, I mean, we have Taylor in the other room,
Yeah.
but she's working on other stuff, like
Yeah.
the cameras, the audio.
And by
like,
we,
it's us.
and by us or we, he means him. I do nothing but show up.
Stop.
Oh, it's true.
Stop. You do great.
We
Okay.
he sets it all up, runs literally 2 cameras, makes sure audio, lights, everything is going good, and 18th episode, still going strong.
Yeah, a lot of stomach problems on these days for sure. And then you're like, drink C4, have some hop water.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that is not
I forgot my probiotic.
Oh my God. I got
Speaking of which,
thorn for that.
Yeah, no, I know. I slipped and I took like, well, no, I didn't slip physically, but I lapsed, if you will. So I was so on my daily probiotic, and then I realized too late that I was going to run out. And then they haven't showed up. I don't know what's going on. Because normally Thorn, I feel like it was like 3 days last time it came. I'm on like 6 days right now.
Oh, no.
So I feel like now my skin's breaking out. My gut is going back.
On the way to Costa Rica, this is all going down?
I'm screwed.
Oh, no.
No, I think it's a lot in my head. You know, I think I'm addicted to probiotics now. And B, I hope they're going to show up today. I'm confident. But I'm now also on subscribe and save.
Yeah.
You know, so now it's going to, I don't have to think about it. They're going to show up and I'm going to stay probiotic.
And he used the link in my bio, so he's getting 20% off of everything he's buying.
Which is a great discount. You know, 20% off of, and you can just, they've got so many different supplements and like kind of packages, you know, 20% is a good deal.
Yeah. And it's definitely, we don't have to like, this isn't what we were buzzing about, but it's really good quality product. Yeah. And I feel like the point of me being able to be at this point in my career and being able to choose who I want to be working with is because I already use the products and love them. And then I'm like, if we're going to talk about it for the team, we've got to be able to give them a discount. So
totally. I have an idea.
Yeah.
Just it's for future. I think when every episode or every few episodes, what we can do is remind people of the deals you have, and we'll call it, and I'll do like I'll make a little button for that, and it'll go, what's the deal with that? And then you just drop your deals. This week, folks, we got 20% off Thorn products, blah, blah, blah. We got, 20% off Vivo, be what's the deal with that. So we'll have what's buzzing. We'll have what's the deal.
Mike, you are brilliant. You don't get a lot of credit for that.
No, you give me credit.
Voiceover, what's the deal? Yeah. Oh my gosh. What? Did you guys know? You probably don't know. Uh-oh. Did you know that back in the day, Mike was a rapper? Like, not your address. Well, wait. No. Not Average Joseph?
No.
Not your Average Joseph?
You're close.
Average Joseph?
Joseph Average.
Joseph Average.
You had to flip it on him a little bit.
Okay. And you actually performed and did shows.
Yeah.
Like he's like a real rapper.
Early 20s, had that rebellious stage. I mean, I've always been into hip hop and whatnot, but like that was where I started DJing. That was my first little thing on vinyl. I was a real vinyl DJ. Wow. And then I started making beats. And I started freestyling.
Can you freestyle right now?
No way.
Why?
Here's the deal. I've thought about it before. Cancel culture is way too real. I can't predict what I'm going to say. The lightest thing I might say, I get fucking no way. I actually was talking to Priya about that recently. I was like, you know what? I bet this is going to come up someday. Kaisa's going to call me out and be like, yo, Mike, bust a freestyle. But when you're freestyling, you're just saying whatever's going on.
Okay, freestyle and we can edit later.
No way.
Come on.
We'll freestyle later and we can.
No, it has to be for the people. Okay, but the thing is like when you freestyle, do you go into an altered space? Like, what's up here? I can't do anything.
The problem is all these things, right? Like, we need a beat, we need a vibe. We can't just be. Wow. We should definitely edit this part out. You just got like Midwest Maisie on me. Like, you're like, Mike, do a little freestyle.
That's the only beat I know how to do.
No, we can't do that.
Okay.
I will.
Well, you can't say
I'll
like
commit to something. I'll commit to something. Maybe I'll write a little rap or something. I mean, it's been a long time. Like, I'm no longer, Joseph Average will always be a part of me.
But
right?
You're not PM.
But I'm Podcast Mike,
It does have carryover though.
It does, yeah. And I will say, like, I love, like, there's a thing about like rapping. It comes with a stigma, obviously, as being like this average white guy. But like, I think I want to, like, it's fun. It's super fun.
To rap?
Yeah, to like make music. It's so fun.
It also must be just fun to have an alter ego. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know who Joseph Average is, but I feel like that's probably a side of you.
Yeah, I'll see what his schedule's like and see.
You'll bring him out one day?
Yeah. See if he can.
Okay, and I'll bring
up.
Amber Rose out that same day.
Yeah.
And it will be
we should do like a
altered ego day.
Yeah, like a dress, like a character episode.
Okay.
The problem is all this stuff we're talking about, people are gonna like demand that this happens now. I really, I'm confident.
Amber, you're overconfident.
I just see you coming in.
Nobody asked for Joseph Average and Amber Rose. But Amber Rose, we might have to have the podcast in the club.
Yeah, we can take it on the road. We can take it on the road. So I'll do a performance at the club. You can be like the club host.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I love it. Okay, should we get on with the show?
Yeah, since we're talking about all this stuff. So you and I talked after last week's episode, and kind of where we left off was a listener question that came in that was, let me see if I can remember. I think it was basically like, I go to the gym. This is not me. This was the person. I go to the gym and I want to look sexy kind of for myself, and like that brings a feeling to me, but I don't want to be sexualized at the gym. Mm-hmm. And we started talking about it, and it kind of kept unfolding. I think we both had I had light bulb moments for me.
Yeah.
I feel like you really were hitting it. It's very along the lines of like, I'm more than my body. And so we kind of talked and said, like, maybe we should just expand on this. And I talked to Priya about it a little bit. And so I think there's just more conversation to be had there. Yeah.
And I do just want to preface, the woman that originally asked the question, this no longer has to do with the question sparked a longer conversation. So I think we kind of answered that, but also I don't want to sit here and analyze too much of where she's coming from. So I just want to lay that to rest.
Totally.
And then say what that question did bring up was a lot of thoughts that Mike and I realized it would be good to dive into on an actual podcast that's more dedicated to that. One, because I am more than my body concept is, difficult to understand and always evolving. And my own journey is always evolving around that and, wanting to be sexy, but not wanting to be seen as my body, defining what sexy even means and just carrying on with that conversation.
Yeah. Why don't we kick it off? I mean, this has been said before. You'll probably have a different take on it either way. Let's just talk about what does it mean to you that you're when you say I am more than my body, where did that come from?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Yeah. So I am more than my body came from me many, many years ago. I would say it actually was a concept in middle school, but the words did not go along with it because we've said this many times, but I am genetically muscular. And so in middle school, when I looked around, I did not see myself in anybody, nobody else looked like me except for some of the guys. And so I had to have conversations with myself of being understanding that I looked this way. And because I looked this way, I was then able to go do all of the athletic things out on the soccer field, out on the track, all the things that I wanted to do. And from a very young age, I put the two together. And so I had this kind of what was empowering moment, but also really difficult times because I didn't also like the way that I looked. And so I had this, it was a kind of an always dueling conversation of, but you do look that way. And so you can go do all these things and be a badass athlete. And so that conversation evolved. And by the time that I got to college, I had really accepted that I had a more athletic body. And then that body was overly sexualized. And then I stepped into that.
And kind of at that time, it was also coinciding with the shift in pop culture, right? That
1,000%.
That wasn't the body type that was sought after for a very long time. And then in early, what was that, mid 2000s or something, probably? Kind of that CrossFit or that athletic thing started popping up more for women. And then that became very sexualized.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so then at that point in time, I had never had attention like that. Didn't really know what to do with the attention, liked the attention, holy shit, I'd never, I went through high school and everything without having that type of attention. But then that pulled me even further away from my body. My body pulled me even further away from who I was. And so I've had both end of the spectrums of being seen as this more sexier thing and that not ending up being a positive thing for me, or seeing as a way, a more masculine thing, and that not being positive for me. And so the concept of I am more than my body evolved out of those two situations that are my entire life. And it was a saying that I had for myself to keep reminding myself that like what you look like does not define who you are as a woman. And you have to value who you are as a woman more than your body before anybody else will. And so if you want to set that as the precedent, if you want people to see you as, you know, a badass businesswoman, or as, you know, a funny, caring human being, or, you know, like as a smart, whatever, like whatever you want them to see you as, that's more than your body, you have to see yourself as more than that. And so I am more than my body is just like this, it was just a constant mantra, and it didn't get solidified until we filmed the video. That was I am more than my body. But so it was a saying.
Was that sort of like, was it something you came up with? But do you feel like when we made that video, that's kind of when it all really like became true for you?
Well, it was something that I came up with, but I think it was so ingrained in me that it was hard to formulate the words around it, right? It's like a very hard concept. And I specifically remember a few nights before we were shooting that video, and Cody wanted me to come up with kind of like what was the tagline. And I kept saying to my friend Sarah, I was like, my only, like my biggest tagline is that I am more than my body. And I was like, can I explain to you what I mean by this? And she was like, I mean, it kind of gave me goosebumps. She's like, holy shit, yes, like that's it. But it was one of those things where you're like, when you have a concept that you haven't heard before, or that, you know, it's like it hasn't been out before, you're kind of like, oh shit, does that even make sense to anybody? Yeah. Like that's hard to explain. Can I explain it to you? And so she kind of verified, like, no, that totally makes sense. And then when the video was created, I was like, okay, I can step into this more, and I can keep explaining this to people. And I think it's still a confusing thing, right? Yeah. Like it's still confusing to people to this day. It's like 10 years later.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, one of the really confusing parts, and I think you've gotten criticism or people poked at it with just being like, well, yeah, it's easy for you to be more than your body when you have a nice body. Mm-hmm. Like that's like, how does that?
Yeah, but I am more than my body is for me, not for other people.
Okay.
And I think the only thing I can say to that is like it's okay for you to say that now when you look at where I am now in my life. But in order for me to get to the point that I believe that I am more than my body, I've been on a journey with my body my whole life. So tell me that when I am, you know, in middle school, there's no magazines. I don't have a TV at home. I see zero women that look like me. And the only people that look like me are the boys. Mm-hmm. So tell me that I didn't have a moment with my body back then. No, I did. You know what I mean? And like, I grew up to a point where then it became culturally acceptable, culturally glorified. And at that point in time, I had already been through so much shit. And honestly, at the same point in time as something being glorified, if you're not in a space where you feel like you're more than that, it also is negative as well.
Yeah.
Because then you travel throughout your life for many, many years in my 20s where when somebody sees you as just your body, it actually doesn't feel, it's not really that positive of a feeling either. You know what I mean? And I think on all spectrums, we can say like, oh, that's easy for you to say. I would love for somebody to say that about me. But like, and that's fine. And you can have that feeling. But I'm telling you, I've had all spectrums of it. None of it feels good until I believe like I am more than my body. I still love my body. I want to look a certain way in my clothes, and I do all these things, and it's fun for me. But I know that that's not what defines me now. I know that that's not the most important aspect of who I am as a woman.
Yeah. So it's not, it's less about not liking your body it's more about just being like your body doesn't define who you are.
Yeah. And the easiest way for me to kind of break this apart is to say, I see my body as my best friend, and I am more than the body, than my best friend. I am all these other qualities that make up who I am. Like we could rattle off and sit here and say,
what other qualities? Who else we got in the room?
I am loyal. I am independent. I am fiery. I am like attitude. I love hard. Like there's a lot of qualities that make up who I am that I'm now proud of, the good, the bad, all of it. And I value all of those, and I place more value on those things than the shell that body, like makes up. And so, or that soul is sitting in. And I know it's like crazy, but it's the only concept, and it's the only time that I ever started to really like separate the two and find value in who I was. and like what I was doing in this world and like how I showed up for others and like, you know, marks that I could leave on this world. And it's not about my body, but I love her. Like, that's why I train and I take care of her. And my relationship with my body is healthier than it's ever been because I'm also not super wrapped up in what she looks like and being disappointed by her. And you know what I mean? It's like, it's just a much healthier dynamic and relationship.
So you are some of your body. Right? Like,
no, I am not my body.
You're not your body.
I genuinely see myself as other than. I see my body as my best friend, and then I see myself. And so when I think about taking care of myself and, you know, wanting to go deadlift 400 pounds and do all these things, I think like, okay, in order for me to do that, I have to make sure that she's fed well. Like this is my thought process. I have to make sure I put her to sleep early. I got to make sure she's fed well. I got to make sure she's hydrated. Let's not go out and party that night. Like that wouldn't feel good for her. I want her to show up and be the best that she possibly can. I'm going to set up the environment for her to do that. Like it's that separated from me. And I literally totally, it's okay if people are like, well, that's crazy. Start talking to your body that way. I also am very aware of the negative. I'm a very negative self-talk person. I'm a perfectionist. I have been very hard on myself my entire life. And so also I pay attention to the quiet things that I'm saying to myself, the quiet ways that I'm picking myself apart. And I try to like minimize that as well. Like, no, she literally just is doing the best that she fucking can right now. And you've been trashing her for a week. You went on vacation. You know, you can't come back and expect this. And like, so then I defend her. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a constant conversation that's happening between, you know, me as the soul of who I am and the body that I'm in.
It's almost like less of a best friend. It sounds like you're more of a coach for that body. Because you're like, you got to sleep. Like, I wouldn't really tell my friend when to sleep or what to eat or like when to go to the gym.
Whatever way you want to pick it apart. And I think it's
I'm not
constantly.
Picking it apart.
It's not in a negative way, but like, I don't know. I think that everybody's going to have their own dynamic of a relationship and is going to figure that out. But I would say start by seeing yourself, your body as something other than you. And that way it doesn't have so much power over you as well, right? Like I love her and I respect her. And I think that's the number one thing that people always say. When you're saying I'm more than my body, are you saying like you don't like your body? And I'm like, no, I love it. Like, I'm just saying, like, what she looks like doesn't define who I am. Like, I actually love her more and have a better relationship with her more than I ever have. And I'm healthier than I've ever been. And I do more for myself than I ever have. And I think like that was literally the turning point for me, was seeing myself as other than my body.
Now, how does it work? So I get it when you're talking like performance or training and those things. How does it work when, say, like, you're about to, you know, hit the boat or Cabo and you're going to have a bathing suit on and you're feeling like you want to look, I'm assuming like you're a big fan of clothes and you got this bikini or something. Like, how does that work when you see yourself in the mirror and you're like, ooh, I'm feeling myself, or I'm not feeling myself? Like, what is that process like? How does that...
I mean, so the craziest thing is whenever you would look back and see like pictures of me and people would probably say, okay, that was like, that's when you looked your sexiest or this and that. I never felt sexy. I never felt like I looked good. I would always look in the mirror and pick things apart about myself. I still do, just far less. So that's why I'm saying from the outside world, it's easy to make up stories about where you think somebody's at. For me these days, like we've talked about this. I'm the biggest I've ever been. And I know just based on the fact that shit that used to fit me doesn't fit me, not because I step on a scale, but I don't nitpick anymore. I put on the damn bathing suit. I go out and I feel good and confident and whatever, because the one thing about me that, you know, like you're seeing is one of very few, is one of a million things about me that I enjoy. I like my body. I love my body now more than I ever have. She looks way different now than she ever did. But also, like, I think that I'm funny. I think I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to be the life of the party when I'm out on the beach. Like, unlike in Cabo, I'm going to make friends with all the guys on the beach and have a great, like, it doesn't consume me anymore. You know what I mean? It's a thought that goes in and goes out. Of course I put on that bikini and I'm like, oh yeah, God, I would like to change this and that. Like, I have those thoughts every single day that I would like to change something about my body. It just doesn't rule my world. It literally doesn't stop me from putting the bathing suit on. You know what I mean? Like, growing up and being told that your arms are big. We have these conversations all the time, but like, you have the biggest arms in the room and like, you look like a guy. What?
Not right now.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Not if I'm on flex.
Really?
Actually, no, you're probably bigger.
Yeah. Okay, so like, and then wanting to cover that up all the time and being
Yeah.
insecure. Like, every single human being has insecurities about themselves. Even the people that we look at and say, you know, you're the biggest supermodel, all these things. Everybody has stuff that they don't like. I just try not to sit in that. I try not to dwell in that anymore. And I try to find value in other things about, you know, me.
Yeah, so it's not getting rid of it. It's not being bigger than it or winning. It's more of just like, it's a piece of all the pieces that are part of you. Like, you're not just that thing. So it's like, for you, if you're uncomfortable in a bathing suit or whatever, or you not necessarily you're uncomfortable, but maybe you want to change some things, but you can also go like, cool, that's fine. Like, I don't need to not think that. Like, that's just what I think. That's the thing that are coming to my head right now. Cool. What else do I have going for me that's beyond that one thing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't show up to the beach going, I'm only upset with how I look, which is going to prevent me from being the fun person or, you know, playing volleyball. Well, I don't know what you do at the beach. I feel like it's take a lot of
Play
Instagram
bocce
photos.
ball. Yeah.
And
I don't take Instagram. But yeah, it doesn't limit me. It
Yeah.
doesn't hold me back. And I just like really actively work on trying not to let it define me. And, you know, other people are going to try to have it define you. And, you know, it's just like, it's your own journey to figure out that your body doesn't define who you are as a human being. And I think that's like, I can only talk about my journey to getting there.
Totally. And I think so, because in the past, I think it's hard because I think people want to put this in like body positive or that realm, which is just different. And I think, if I'm hearing correctly, it's like, you're not about trying to like, let's see. You're not trying to convince yourself that you love parts of your body that you don't.
No.
You're just saying that those parts that you don't love
don't define me.
don't define you.
Amen.
Yeah. So, and I think that's
actually, but pause, and I'm so grateful you're bringing this up. We need to reiterate that. I am like, it's so important. I am not trying to sit in the mirror or look down at myself and say that I'm not trying to convince myself and lie to myself and say that I love every piece of myself. Absolutely not. No.
you're just telling yourself that there's more to you than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's really powerful because for me, it's our conversations come up in my head when I have these feelings because it's kind of in my mind. I don't know if I guess it's like, are we capable of looking at ourselves in the mirror and going like, wow, this is exactly how I picture myself.
No,
you know what I mean?
I don't think so.
So, and I think obviously it's a personal experience. Like I'm having a hard time believing that I would ever look and go like, wow, I love everything about my body. Right. So if that's the case, if you can't ever be fully happy about how you look, it's a losing battle. Like you'll never, right? But your goal is to somehow find love or somehow find comfort in those things. I think then your expectation isn't even, you can't even meet it.
Amen.
So it's it's interesting. I mean, it's like, I think it's a hard concept, but it's really, I think it's for me personally, like when I go through these things, I tend to do like what you're just saying. It's like, oh, but this body or like I'm the fun person or like I can play on the beach more than some other dads or whatever. Like, I mean, I guess that's comparing, but just finding other things that are like positive that I'm excited about than just on the fact that like, I don't feel good about these other parts. Yeah.
And those feelings are so much deeper and so much more real than just being like, oh, I really like my arms or my ass. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not, I totally want to say I understand that if somebody is in a body that they just really don't like, that it is easy to think that if I change it, everything else is going to fall in place, right? Like we've been told that message. We really believe that message that like when I look different, when I look more socially acceptable or socially sexy or like whatever it is, the rest of my life is going to fall in place. And it is your own journey to realize that it won't. Mm-hmm. And it's your own journey to realize that changing the way that you look won't make you happier, won't make you more fulfilled, won't make your relationships better. You know, like that is your own journey. And I have been on so many roller coaster rides of thinking that if I did change the way that I looked, or if I did look this way, or if I did look that way, you know, and I've had to come to my own moments of being like, nope, over and over and over again. Nope, it's not about what you look like. And like the healthiest I've ever been is when I started to realize it's not about what I look like. And the healthiest I've ever been is when I started to value who I was past my body. I've been defined by my body my entire life.
Yeah.
You know, and negative and positive. I have literally been defined by my body my entire life. And if I would like to be, you know, defined by something other than that, then I have to find value in something other than that first, because that's how I then can go out in the world. And that's how I can teach the world and the people around me to find value in something other than that about me.
So when you say changing the way you look won't make you happy, if we switch it and go to, say, fashion or clothing,
makes me so happy.
Style. So like, because this is a conversation we actually had during COVID. I remember vividly, like Pri and I, we were, you know, isolated or quarantined or whatever. And we were in the backyard and we both were just like, what the fuck are we wearing? Like we started calling them hard pants, you know, because it's like
jeans.
Like anything that like wasn't sweats of some sort, you know. It's like, damn, you got to put on hard pants and sit there. Like, what were we doing? Why are people wearing this stuff? And we were like, wow, fashion's kind of weird, right? Like you're definitely, you can say you're putting it on for you, and I think there's definitely like there's that part of it for sure. But like part of this is how you're viewed by other people, right? It's kind of a statement, or it's like, what do I represent? What like, how do I express myself? All those things, people receive it. And even though you're not necessarily contingent upon how they receive it, it's more of like they're receiving it, right? They're receiving whatever message you're putting out there. And it does, I think, make it potentially, or I think individually can make you actually happier. Like when I feel like I got a dope outfit or something, I'm like, ooh, this feels good. So why is that different?
I mean, I think first of all, we're human beings. Like there's going to be moments that our self-confidence, you know, by putting on a pair of sneakers or a shirt, whatever it is just a little bit higher. Like, because we're human beings and we do value still what we look like. And we know that like people's, thoughts about us matter. And I think that like for me, clothes and shoes have always, since I was very, very little, have always been a creative outlet. And I've always enjoyed expressing myself and finding myself through clothes and exploring different sides. I mean, half of what I wear, people are like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm just exploring something. Okay. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really fun for me. And it's a side that like I really enjoy. The other thing too is makeup. This is always a confusing thing for people when they're like, well, if you're more than your body, why are you putting makeup on? I love what I look like with makeup on. Yeah. Like that's what I wear for me. I love when I feel like my skin is glowing, and do I get a boost of like confidence and feel like, okay, yes, girl, like I put on makeup to go work out. And I don't judge that about like, that's when I feel good and I want to have that makeup on and I want to do that. And like, I think we could nitpick all of it apart and say, well, if you really believe that you're more than your body, then you shouldn't care what you look like and you shouldn't care what your face looks like. And sure, I don't care. I like that. If that's your opinion, fine. My version of I am more than my body is a happy medium of my body does not, what my body looks like. I don't sit and judge for very long these days. I appreciate her because I know that she's really important to me, and she doesn't hold me back from doing the things that I want to do. Like that's my relationship. Yeah.
I forget I think there's a term, but in simple language, it's instead of or but, it's and. Yeah. And I think this is actually like one of those things where it's not about being an argument. It's that you are not defined by how you look, and you like to look good.
Okay, amen. I love that you always take what I say and then you like solidify it. I just so appreciate that about you. And it's my interpretation.
Exactly. Yeah. Like what you think looks good.
Yes.
It makes you feel something. So it's kind of like, it's not about let's fight on that, like I'm more than my body, and I'm also going to defend that I like fashion, and I'm going to defend that I like to wear makeup, and I'm going to try to come up with a way that it kind of works, because it's like, no, it's actually not about making it fit into that. It's both. Yeah. It's that you are not your body, and sometimes or all the time or whatever, you like a specific way your body looks and it makes you feel good. It's both things.
And the more that I really believe that about myself and like walk that talk, the less I care about somebody's opinions of it. You know what I mean? Like the less I care about somebody's opinions about my body, whether they think it's sexy or masculine or whatever, you know, the less I care about somebody saying, what the fuck are you wearing? You know what I mean? It's like the more that you actually really do embody that, which is why I go back to saying like, you have to figure out what it means for you because it has to like truly come from you. And that feeling and like how I carry myself now, I don't care what people say.
Yeah.
And I lived my entire life caring what people say. I mean, I do care a little bit.
Or yeah, you care
less.
but you are confident and strong enough in what you believe and feel that like it can kind of, you've set up a little bit of a guard or a Teflon that it's like, yeah, you can have that opinion and it maybe it hurts a little, but like your confidence is bigger than that so that yours wins out.
Yeah. And it would hurt me more if somebody said like, God, you're just like not a fucking loyal person. That would crush me to my core a lot more than, because those are like the qualities that I actually believe about myself and that I actually value in myself. If somebody tried to, you know, come for those, that would be far more crushing these days than like, what do they say to me?
Yeah.
You're so much bigger than you used to be, or whatever the fuck they like to say to me these days.
Do people say that?
Yeah, I mean, people, because like if I ever post a throwback, it's like, yeah, I'm way bigger than I was fucking 5 years ago. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm also older and I'm more badass, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's such a like, I think the like "and" is such a thing, right? Like because we live in such a black and white world. Like we love to go, if you're this, then that means you're that.
Yeah.
And I think it's like the more, I just feel like the more progress is made when it's more of like, I'm that and I'm that. And it doesn't need to be easy to understand. Like we're not easy to understand, you know, and I think you can just be both things that are potentially contradicting, and it's okay to be like, yeah, I'm contradictory.
Yeah, and the only way that I know that it's working is that I genuinely, when I check in with myself, I'm like, I am, you know, life is stressful and all these things, but like I am really, really okay with myself for the first time in my entire life. Like I'm really, really content with Kaisa and who I am. And that is when I know like, okay, the things that I'm doing are working. So just keep doing more of them. You know what I mean? And so for me, that the mantra of I am more than my body, which I say to myself every single day, because I do want to reiterate, I wake up, I look in the mirror and I'm like, fuck. And then I just don't sit in that. You know what I mean? And I just remind myself I'm more than my body and I carry on with my day. And that's a very real thing for me. I'm not saying like, I love you nose, I love you arms. No, I'm just saying like, okay, cool. Like I'm more than my body. I'm grateful for her and we're going to carry on with our day. And that's helped me become the healthiest version of myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a funny, like I haven't weighed myself in a while. I was weighing myself because I was kind of like, I was trying to fasting and all these things. And so I haven't weighed myself for over like a month. And for whatever reason yesterday, I was like,
The scale was calling.
I need to hit that scale. And I like weighed exactly the same as I weighed whatever the last time, maybe even like a pound more. And I've made all these changes. And it was like immediately in my head, I'm like, nothing really influences this number. Like I've made fairly like I'm moving more, eating healthier, not snacking, right? Like all these things that I was trying. And I think like I sat in it for a minute of just going like a little frustrated of like, no matter what I do, things don't change. And then I really was just like, okay, then what? Like what if something doesn't change?
But can I pause you for 1 second?
Yeah.
But so many things have changed.
No, I know. I'm saying this is like my negative self in the scale weighing moment.
But even the thing that you're saying is like, no matter what I do, nothing changes. And it's because the only one thing you're trying to change is the number on the scale. But no matter what you did, so many things change. Think about how much healthier you are right now.
No, I know. That's what so this was like the negative guy, right?
Okay.
This was like the negative who was just in that space. And then because, I mean, this is a practice still, obviously, as I had this thing happen yesterday. It quickly turned in though to like seeing myself as like a fun person who loves movement, who like inspires other people to move, who isn't perfect, who like all these other things started coming in. I can't say that they totally won out, which is why I like appreciate the conversation we just had, which is it's not about saying or getting rid of that I want to weigh less or that I wish I looked a different way. It's more about going like, cool, that's a feeling, valid, have it, that's like there, but acknowledge all these other things. And when I acknowledge all the other things, that just got smaller because the other things were way bigger. And And it's still, so it's just this weird thing, but it's more of like, I think so many people still go through that like all the time. You know, it's like you just, you get more stuck in what's not working or what you don't like. And it's simple. I mean, it's kind of like a daily gratitude or whatever. It's not about getting rid of the things that are stressful or that you don't like. It's more about just acknowledging the things that you do like and the things that you're grateful for. And it does win out eventually. Like it will make an influence, you know, like it does.
Or at least it just won't send you deeper into the hole.
Which is
a win.
Positive. Yeah, for sure.
And I think it'd be so much easier if we just all could agree. You will literally never look in the mirror and be like, I am the definition of a bad bitch come through. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think so. And if you do, like, you go. But like realistically, like standing in the mirror and just looking at your naked body and loving everything about it, I just don't think we're gonna get there. Yeah. So like, let's stop trying. Like, just don't try. Like, that's not the point anymore. And I think that like it's an active practice because literally I have to do it every day. But if you just start being like, okay, that holds a little less power over me on a daily basis, and you can switch to, look at how fast you switch to all these other kind of like positive qualities about you, which maybe a year ago you wouldn't have. And that's like such a fucking win. Yeah. Like it's such a win. But also what's going to be an amazing win is to go home and smash that with a hammer. Let's smash that fucking scale with a hammer. Because you know what will help you?
I didn't know where you were going with that.
You know what will help you
I was like, am I going to PR or something? No. What are you smashing?
No. You know what will help you not step on that fucking scale? Not to fucking have it. Just not to have it.
Ooh. That's why is that strikes a chord. Yeah. That's good. I mean, they're like $30. So if I smash, I go, let's buy a new one if I really need to.
Yeah, you don't need to.
What if so when you're talking about looking in the mirror, I just had this thought, like, what would the world be like if we couldn't see ourselves? How wild would that be?
Well, then it gets to conversations about race. You know, there's like a lot of deeper conversations that can be had if we look beyond, you know, the body of people.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
We don't have to.
Yeah. We don't have to go into that. I was just thinking, I was like, gosh, because it is really so much. The thing that's crazy too is just how much marketing is tied into all this. Like that's the biggest thing, is that it's not even just, it is so ingrained for such a long time of like how we should feel. Like it's not even like an active thing that we're making a decision on. It's been, you know, girls, especially I think from a very young age, it's like, you're sort of like primed to look a certain way, you know? And so like, that is like ingrained from such a young age. You don't even get a chance, you know? And even like what clothes you wear, you know, like our son he's turning 5, and it's like, it's so funny, like this separation of like, say, boys or girls or colors or, you know, baggy or tight or whatever. And we try to really just let him like, dude, wear whatever you want. And he wears the freakiest shit. Like it's so fun because we don't give him a limit. You know, and it's fun because I think that that's something that a lot of kids, adults, like if we had more of that freedom. And that's why I think I didn't get it for a long time, to be honest with you, with like fashion and stuff. I was always like, oh, these people need attention or whatever. I had this like, it made me uncomfortable for whatever reason. And I think through like our friend Ryan, who's a drag queen, Angina, shout out to Angina. You're probably not listening, but you should. He like, it's so elaborate, and like when we go hang out with him and his friends and the shit they wear, it's like, so it used to just kind of like I didn't get it, and now I'm like, oh, it's just an expression. Like, and it's fun. Like they have so much fun putting it on, and it makes them feel different, and I can tell his attitude changes and all this stuff. And so it's like, I think it's like letting people be who they are, letting them express themselves. Like it's for whatever reason that always, you know, it's kind of like it does something to ourselves often, you know, and then we don't know what to do with that. And it's more of just like, that person looks like they're having fun. That's how I view it a lot more now. It's like, that person looks like they're having fun.
And enjoying life.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it always does kind of like when you see somebody really like enjoying life, I think sometimes it's like a mirror held up and you're like, am I really enjoying life? Yeah. Like, and then you kind of be like, oh, fuck them. Cause you're like, I'm not really enjoying life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I totally understand that, but I think you just have to go, not everybody has to like love fashion. You think about, you know, photography or going surfing or like the things that you love. It's like, human beings are so unique. we all have the things that we enjoy, and we all have the things that like bring the best sides out of us. And we all have, you know, those moments where we just like feel our most badass. And for some of us, it's wearing something. For some of us, it's working out. For some of us, it's being a mom or a dad. Like, it's so many different things. And just like, if we could just value them all equally, you know what I mean? And just like, and I don't think the world will. So you just have to find value in them. And you just have to find value in who you are and what lights you up and, you know, why you're on this fucking earth.
And the beauty is that like we are all different.
Yeah.
So like, let us look different.
Yeah.
You know, let us sound different and feel different. Like that is, you know, it's obviously. And
it's always, but bringing up working out is always so confusing to people because it's like, it just so happens that the body and working out are so closely related.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And I know that that's like, and that makes it even more difficult. But I always say like, it doesn't have, working out, like movement is the thing, is out of all the things in my life, is the one thing that I love, I would say the most. You know what I mean? Like, that is my happiest place. But for you, you could say my happiest place is when I am doing photography. For, you know, other people, they could say my happiest place is when I'm doing my paintings. I don't know, whatever it is. But like those, if you go dive deeper, more into those happy places, you care less about what you look like. If you dive more into finding value in all the things and the ways that light you up, you care less about what you look like. I just happen to have one that's very closely related to changing the way that you look. So it's always confusing for people, but I just say run more towards the thing that lights you up.
Yeah. And I think you kind of went somewhere, I thought you were going somewhere different, but what excites me is like more and more now we see different bodies moving to celebrate movement, not how they look. And so I'm not going to lie, like seeing, it was on like a documentary, and it was with Snoop Dogg and his cousin Daz Dillinger, and they were in Jamaica and they were smoking weed, like just blunt after blunt after blunt. And Daz he's like kind of hefty. Like he's, you know, I don't know. He's not like a thin guy. He's not like a, you know, super big guy, but he's definitely, he looks like, you know, he's a little hefty. Anyways, I'm probably going to get canceled for saying that. I don't know. Anyways, he goes out to the beach. They hike to the beach, and he literally like sets the blunt down, I think, like had just smoked all these blunts. And he runs on the beach and busts out like fucking 10 handsprings. I literally had this I was in such disbelief. I was like, A, he just smoked so much weed. B, how he didn't even warm up or do anything. This guy just did like 10 handsprings on the beach. And that was kind of like, that was years ago that I saw this. I didn't see all that many people who weren't like smaller or like muscular doing big movements like that. And it blew my mind. Yeah. And I feel like over time, these last like 5-10 years, you see a lot more people who aren't the cliche body type that is a person who works out or moves fast or whatever. There's this other guy, I think he goes by Big Boy, and this guy is huge. He's just huge, like muscular, but he's also not like super cut. And the thing, this guy moves like it is, you can't even imagine how fast he moves. But it's like, it's so cool to see that, because it's like you focus on what they're doing, not how they look. Yeah. And it looks really, I'm trying to like, maybe I am focusing on how they look compared with their movement. But I guess I'm just saying like, I like that there's more of that out there, because you're right. Like working out is tied so much to how you look, but like, that's where we hold it as what matters, which isn't. Like moving is important for your joints and your muscles and your heart and your lungs and all these things. Looking is a byproduct.
Yes. And you could move all, like Big Boy. I mean, I don't know who it is, but I'm just assuming he could move all day, every day, be like a very healthy version of himself. And that's what he looks like. And when he goes to the doctor says you are morbidly obese and your BMI is this and you're not healthy. And he's probably healthier than the fucking doctor. Okay. Yeah. And that's why I keep saying like health is a feeling. It is not a look. What are you doing to take care of yourself? Don't have that be defined by what you look like, because that's the thing about movement. It sells when we say, if you look like this, you're healthy. So do this program, get this supplements, eat this thing, spend $1 million. You'll never fucking get there, but we've sold you on it all. And that's not true at all. You can be so fucking healthy, which is what social media has helped do, the negatives and the positives, but has helped show that there are more versions of what a healthy body looks like other than, you know, the shredded human being on the cover of Muscle and Fitness.
And, it's hard to know how this has happened for me personally, but it's definitely happened. Like, over the years, what I'm like attracted to has changed. Like I feel like it was very singular. Like it was very like, for a lack of a better definition, kind of like what I was told to. And there's something about this new confidence in just people that like that tends to stand out a lot. And I think people are just learning how to embrace a confidence that wasn't really there before. And it's wild. Like not to be put on blast, but like just all the people who I like find attractive now are very different for different reasons. And looks
are you talking about men, women, everybody, or like what, just like everything? Yeah. Everything. Who you're drawn to.
Yeah. Just, and like what sort of, there's an energy or something that people can pull in. And I think that it's so cool because it's really noticeable and it feels different. There's something like, again, I'm still like trying to figure out what it is.
But
and
like more real.
Journey. Yeah, there's like a smile that's associated with it almost, you know, like where you're kind of connecting to a confidence and an energy that someone's putting out there versus, and you may also like the way they look or whatever, but there's like a new thing that's coming out. And I'm assuming it's more than just for me, but that is like, I've noticed it a lot.
Yes. And it kind of goes back to like, it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not your body. It's like how you rock your body. You know what I mean? It's like, It's not like, it doesn't define you. It's just like how confident you are in this thing. Like, and I think that's why sometimes it's confusing, but you have to pull so far away from it and be so separated from it. Or I at least did, to have to come back and be like, okay, cool. Like I fuck with you, body. You're my best fucking friend. You're a bad bitch, come through, but you still don't define me, but I love you. You know what I mean? It's both.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think like that is palpable. That is real. That also creates the buffer of like people now, I feel like for the first time in most of my life, people don't come at me inappropriately, even on social very much anymore, because I don't fucking see myself that way. And the only way to explain that is that it's a fucking different energy out there. I'm not really wearing anything different. I might look slightly different or whatever, but like it's literally just energetically, I'm different about the way that I present myself. Yeah, period. For sure.
And like it probably helps that we're not taking those feet photos anymore. And like putting those out there.
And the ass shots we took all the time.
We closed down your fans only or whatever that was for a while.
Okay, just kidding. We were never doing that.
So we did have, where are we at? Like I think we should bring this other part up because I want to hear what you have to say. So yesterday I saw this video and it was, granted, I don't have all the, like this, as per my normal research, it's not fully vetted or.
Okay.
So I'm ready to get, scorched. But basically I saw this video of like a guy who was like analyzing this viral video. And the viral video was this woman, allegedly a fitness influencer. I didn't like look at her account or know who it was or anything like that. She was at the gym. She's filming herself. And she's in some short shorts and like she's taking off her shirt, like getting ready to like film herself working out, and it's like very obvious she's filming herself. There's two guys in the background, like way in the background. And one guy, he's on like a Smith machine or whatever, and he kind of just looks over and then he goes back to his thing. And the other guy isn't even looking that way. And she just goes like that. It was like she was searching for this to happen. He looks over and she goes, "Can I help you with something?"
Oh, she said that to him?
Yeah, like yelled it, right? So that like he could clearly hear. And it was like, they were like, apparently from the video, it looked a decent, 50 feet away or something. And she just kept saying, "Can I help you with something? Can I help you with something?" And the other guy who didn't even look over, he starts coming over. He's like, "Can you help? What are you even talking about?" And she's like, basically just alluding that like they're being pervy for like looking over at her as she's taking her shirt off in the mirror. And the guy's
and when she takes her shirt off, so now she has a sports bra on and tiny shorts.
Yeah. Okay. And she's doing like a little wiggle.
And to be fair, I haven't seen this video.
Sure. So. Yeah. I should have. One day we'll get to the point where I can I'll have a TV up and I can show you.
Yeah.
Hopefully I have like an intern at that point, so I'm not also doing that.
Okay.
I'm like, "Yo, Roger, hit him up with that video." And anyways, so they go through this whole thing. He works there. He's like a trainer. He's like, "Actually, I need to ask you to leave." And she's like, "Oh, that's what you're going to do?" And like fighting him, all this stuff. And she's like, "I think this is where my research fails, whatever." I still wanted to bring it up. I think she's even saying like, "Oh, that's like what you're going to do," or like, "That's how you're going to handle this," or
discrimination.
Like, yeah, whatever. And the guy was just like, "No, you need to leave." Anyways, the video got like a ton of view, like it went viral. But I think that what the guy was sort of reporting on was like how funny it was that it actually kind of came back at her, because everyone was like, so wait, this one guy who glances at you in real life, in the gym, as you're like over there flexing, taking your shirt off, whatever.
To be looked at.
Because
you're filming yourself.
Because you're looked at. What about the other, whatever, 1,000, 100,000, millions of people that you're literally creating this video for is to be looked at? You know,
I have so many things I want to say about this.
Hit them with it.
I feel like it's going to be cancel culture. I don't fuck with that shit.
Yeah.
Because the first thing, I don't know her. I haven't seen this video, but the first thing I'm going to say is you create that content and you do that to be seen. So when you're seen in real life and you get the reaction that like you created content to get, but it's not quite as controlled as you want it because it's like in real life, then you're going to have a reaction to it. I also think sometimes those reactions are so that content goes viral.
Sure.
Like it's all created so that at some point in time you can be seen even more. And I don't care what women or men or anybody walks into the gym with. You have to fucking own if you walk into the gym in booty shorts and you take your shirt off and you have a fucking sports bra on, you are gonna have eyes on you.
Yeah.
Period. And if you are okay with that, then fucking go about it. But don't act like you're gonna walk in half naked and not have eyes on you.
Yeah.
So like you gotta kind of fucking know what goes with it. If I walk in looking like having whatever, I was gonna say a clown, but I didn't want to put the two together. Like if I have a costume on, people are gonna fucking look at me. Like you have to know what comes along with the choices that you're making. And I really have an issue with this women making overtly sexual content and then acting like they don't want that attention. They should just be able to do that with no eyes on them. Like, no, it's just not how it goes.
Yeah.
Literally, like, it's just not how it goes. And maybe create that content and send it to your friend then and don't post it on social or something.
Or don't
you know what I mean?
go to the gym. Like, work out at home. If you don't want to be looked at, like.
But also there's nothing negative with being looked at.
No, I know. I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if that's your threat, like if this were to happen, she was in her home and some dude was peeping through the window, that's a different story. You're in a public gym and acting like someone's not allowed to look at you.
Exactly. We're also all human beings. It is human nature when somebody starts taking off their clothes or when somebody wears something that is like sexy or when I would have been in the background looking at her like, okay, damn. All right, girl, you go. Like, don't break that apart and break it down into like something negative. Like there's a fine line there. Like if they would have been like coming up and doing like whatever, like there's a fine line there. We don't need to go there. But I don't have a lot of compassion for a lot of these, like, it's like a social media thing right now that's happening of like, but I can be a Miss Independent woman. I can do my own thing and I can wear a fucking thong and like a, titty pasties and I just still don't fucking look at me.
But I'm going to talk about the last 6 weeks being the hardest travel of my life.
Yeah. Well, that too. But I'm like, you're going to get looked at and you're going to get attention and you know that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would arguably say you're doing it for that.
Yeah.
So don't act like you're not.
Totally.
Just don't act like you're not.
And there's the thing too, I see this now, it's just like where you'll put a photo, because I think it's reels or videos where you can put a photo of something.
Yeah, so it gets their attention, but it never shows up.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man, that is just the dirtiest. And look, I fell for it before, you're like, and then you're like, what the fuck? That's some bullshit. And then, and then even the caption is just like, I got a new dog.
Yeah.
But I'm like naked in a lake. And you're like, what? There's not even a dog in this photo. Like, what are we talking about? Like mental health.
Yes.
That's a popular one.
Exactly. And it goes back to saying, like, I think it's really important for people to understand, like, we're not sitting here saying don't do those things. We're not sitting here saying don't wear those things. We're literally just kind of questioning if you're going to, you also have to understand that eyes and attention and, a certain amount of looks or likes or whatever or comments, are going to go along with that because we're all human beings. Like, what you're doing when you're creating that content. That's the other thing. You can't sit here and tell me that when you showed up into the gym to create a video of you in, pretty minimal clothing, that you weren't expecting attention from that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I don't know what world you live in, but there's no way. No attention comes from that.
Yeah, you're going to post like a booty photo, just be like, you like that booty.
Yeah.
Game over. Bring on the comments.
Call it what it is.
But it's like booty, and then it's like, I've been eating oatmeal for the last 6 weeks or something like that. And it's like, then you get people trying to be in there too, like, oh, what kind of oatmeal? Is it gluten-free? And then there's like a peach or, like there's this like weird conversation below the surface or something. It's like, just be what it is.
Yeah. Or just like, let's bring it all the way back around and just like find value in something other than maybe your body, ladies. Like that's really like what I would love to just bring it back
It'd be great.
to. That'd be great.
It'd be great.
Active practice.
Yeah. You're out here leading that charge.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure, but thank you.
Yeah. Because I think when you post that booty pic and you just call it out.
I'm never fucking posting an ass shot. We have gone so downhill if we get to an ass shot.
I will say there was, I've seen like a story where, there's been some like pool action.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, what's going on over here? Where are we at?
But that's not an ass shot.
I think.
Are you talking about like one of Simon's pictures? What are you talking about?
Oh, that's another one.
Yeah.
But, that's a different. No, I think there was like. I feel like sometimes when you're like boomerangs or when you're traveling or something, you might do a little twirl. A little twirl.
I love my ass. I have a big ass. Yeah. I've been made fun of my ass my whole life. Like, but and also, now it's like.
I guess though, in that sense though, you're also not saying you're just like out here.
I'm in a thong bikini and like enjoying my life. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you can be more than your body and also enjoy yourself in a thong bikini.
Yeah. And I do
it all the time.
There's liberation. I know what's going to come. Like it's liberating for me to be like this thing that, I mean, literally I grew up in an era where like, people were not thick. There was no Kim Kardashian. Like I had an ass when I was in middle school. Like again, genetically muscular, that's what it looks like. It's fun now to be like that thing y'all made fun of me for. Like I like her, you know what I mean? Like, so there's certain pieces that I'm just saying that's one, okay, for the one ass shot you see of me every 6 months, you see a million other things. So like, I refuse to allow you to define me as the ass girl.
Yeah, no, I wasn't defining you by any means.
I meant I was just like putting it out there.
Yeah. But kind of yelling.
Oh, what's that? I was getting heated about it. No, but also like, I don't have it all figured out. Totally. I still define myself as like, I still think like, okay, like maybe I am just, no. And it's a constant reminder, but I still like to wear the sexy thing and take a sexy picture, do that thing. I don't, post about it 24/7, but yeah.
And it doesn't define you. And this podcast is literally us not having anything figured out. We're just talking.
Yes,
like,
true.
Make no mistake.
True.
One of my favorite mentors, Walter Hodges, told me, Mike, let me channel a little Walter. You ready for this?
Yes.
It's like this is something to really leave the people with.
Okay.
Michael, the moment you think you got it figured out, you're fucked. It has stayed with me. It's so simple, yet so elegant.
It is. But you know what? I think that's what's so beautiful about our conversations here is nothing is concrete. Nothing is set in stone. What Mike and I are coming to you all and saying is like, this is where we're at in this very moment. Also, we encourage you to argue with us.
Totally, yeah.
Fucking call us, okay? Hit us with a message, KaisaFit.com/ask.
Damn.
And come at us. Like, give us your opinion about things because we are literally sitting here being ready to be proven wrong and to have a different conversation about that and to change our fucking minds and to think differently. Like, I don't know if it's going to happen about that for I Am More Than My Body with me, but come at me.
Yeah, I think actually this came up this weekend chatting with some really good friends about like, it's not even like you have to agree to disagree or agree to agree or whatever, change your mind. It's really just, I think it's about being curious. Mm-hmm. Like, what are your thoughts on this thing? And it's not like, I'm not curious what your thoughts are so that they can change mine or that I can understand yours. I literally just want to come from the point of view of just being like, I just want to hear more about your thinking on this or your philosophy on this. And that's like, it literally can just stay right there.
Yeah. And ultimately for me, I always think it kind of like feels like it dumbs it down. But ultimately for me, I just want to live the happiest life that I can live.
Yeah.
And so if I can take away some tokens of things that might be working for you and like turn them into something that might possibly work for me, like that is my motivation in life. And probably it comes because I've lived it through like such dark times that like for me, I'm like, I remember thinking like the day that I wake up and I just wake up happy, like I couldn't even imagine those days. So to be in these moments today and be like, okay, cool. Like whatever I'm doing, like it's working for me right now. Like I'll share it with others. It might work for them. A piece of it might work. I don't know. But like, I want to hear from more. I want to learn about how I can wake up even happier or healthier or whatever it is. But like, that's my mission. That's my goal. And that's my own personal one. So whatever works for me is like what's working.
For sure.
Yeah. I don't question it much anymore.
And that's why we're here on TKS, right? Hear more about what you got going on, what you've learned, how you're learning. You continue to learn.
Yeah.
Always growing.
Always growing on the TKS.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't say the TKS.
No, I know. I made the mistake. When I first introduced it, I definitely said the TKS because it feels better. And then I thought about it, like, I still was like, who cares? You know, you got to grow, right? So like in that moment, I was making a live mistake, and that's okay. Over and over too. And all I was looking at that moment, I was listening to myself. There's just opportunity to improve.
You're so annoying.
And get better.
You're so annoying.
But the KS doesn't work. KS sounds...
But you know, Craig said something to me the other day when we were working on like acronyms for things. And he goes, do you say ATM machine? Like, I'm going to go to the ATM machine. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, ATM, M is machine in ATM. So you can literally take an acronym and just do whatever you want. You
can do whatever you want with
that's
anything.
what that was his point.
Yeah,
was like, do whatever you want with it.
Totally. Thanks for giving me that that opportunity to also mess up and have it not be looked at as a mess up.
Because it's a safe space.
Yeah, I am more than my mess ups.
Amen. Okay, team. First, let me just reiterate. That was a long conversation about things that we are not even 100% sure about, and we want to hear your opinions. We want to hear your thoughts. So go to KaisaFit.com/ask, leave us a message. It could be a thought, a question. It could have nothing to do with this. Just hit us up.
You could just compliment how nice you sound on these new microphones.
That too. And if you've made it this far and you are enjoying the podcast, the TKS, please leave us a review. We would love to hear from you. We literally go through and read the reviews. They give us motivation. They give us encouragement to keep showing up each week.
Yeah.
And they really matter. Like it's really important to hear from the team, and it feels like a little pat on the back, and we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's really fun when Mike sends me, did you see this new review?
Yeah.
And like, it's just,
I'm in there.
Yeah.
I am in there. We don't have someone pulling these, and I'm like literally going through there, screenshotting and sending to Kaisa.
Yeah.
So.
And it's awesome. And we so appreciate it. But Mike, I appreciate you. This was definitely, it was a windy road on this conversation, but I always appreciate that I can have conversations of like big thoughts, and then you can kind of like corral them in.
Okay, I'm doing my best.
Yeah, no, you're killing it. Team, thank you so much for joining us here today. We'll see you back on the TKS.
Oh, shit.
Very soon.
Very soon. All right. Peace.
Bye, team.